it's Wednesday. Okay. Mmm. Wow. I feel like I haven't streamed in like a month. It's been 4 days since I did a stream. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Morning Medley, number 75. Hello, Mushroom Tea. I hope you had a good, hope you had a good weekend and a good President's Day. I did not stream on President's Day, or at least I didn't do a YouTube stream. I did a very quick Instagram production stream in the evening to kind of make up for the lack of a stream. Mm, The last stream that I did was actually a Valentine's Day stream. It was on Friday. And so, what I did in the stream to kind of make it themed was I broke down a lot of my love songs and explained the inspiration for them. And even in some cases, I explained the writing process of them. Now, I think we got through, I'm gonna just guess and say about like 7 songs. And only towards the end of the stream was actually extra long, but only towards the end of the stream, I noticed that I had a lot more love songs than I had previously assumed. And that's why the stream was lasting so long. So I said that the next stream that I did, I would continue the whole like breakdown of and inspiration behind several of my songs I had written. Um, Mostly the love songs. I don't know if I have to keep the love songs anymore. Hello, Cause. Welcome to the stream. Since it's no longer Valentine's Day, maybe I don't have to do that. And I think I've finally gotten to the point where I can play it without messing up. I'm finally good at that song. So the first song that I'm going to go over the inspiration of in today's stream, if you were in the Valentine's Day stream, you remember we went over a lot of the Signal songs. A lot of the Signal songs being inspired by Downtown, but at their core are love songs, like Love Letters. Obviously, it's got love in the name. And Winter Heart. I think even if you didn't necessarily know the lyrics or the inspiration behind a lot of those songs, you would be able to assume that they were love songs just because they have the words love or heart in them. It's kind of obvious for those few. But also, if you were in the Valentine's Day stream, somebody did bring up Suspended in Love, which is another one of my songs that's a love song. And I broke down that song as well. I also broke down the song I Miss You, which is off of my Lost Polaroids EP. I don't remember the verses of that song. I Miss You. I'm sure if I listened to it, I'd be able to figure it out. Since I am the one who made it. I just very rarely play it past that point. This part of the song, the intro of the song, I ended up working into another arrangement that is currently kind of just floating around. I'll often play it in improvs, but it doesn't have a home. This bit. Somebody says, "Are you on Twitch yet?" I have a Twitch account, but I don't stream there. So I'm not going to Twitch. So you say yet, but meaning that I am going there. I'm not on my way to Twitch or anything. This is where I stream, not Twitch. So yes and no. But yeah, that's that little medley's origins do lie in I Miss You. Hello, Jorge. Hello, sir. How are you doing? Boy, it sure is Wednesday. It is extremely Wednesday today. song's called Over and Under. Over and Under. It's never been a tongue twister until today. I think this is a slightly slower version of the song than I typically play. It's going fine. Alright. Is it cloudy there? Here in Los Angeles? I wouldn't say so. I wouldn't say so, no. Blue skies. Blue skies. It's been like kind of without a cloud for the past few days, actually. It's been very, very like LA weather. Very springtime LA kind of weather. So like somewhere in the 70s. Somewhere in the 70s and a little breezy, but no clouds. It's been nice. Trying to do something with my brain really quick. Sorry. Sometimes when I'm trying to feel things out on the piano or figure things out on the piano, it helps to close my eyes and not actually look at the keys. The keys can be very confusing for me. Good morning, Mary Ellen. Oh, what a beautiful name. Someone else ready for the Animal Crossing Direct? I hope so. Is it today, Cause? I gotta figure out what this chord progression is. Because I use it way too much. It's tomorrow. Says Cause. Oh, word up. Oh no! Oh no, I just figured out what it is and I don't like it as much anymore. But now I kind of want to try that for the other song. We're going from here to here. Ugh, that sounds horrible. Okay, anyways, this song is called. This song is called Into Thin Air. Weird. Oh yeah, the song's called Into Thin Air. There's a song I have called Beneath the City. It sounds like this. that song I wrote years ago, Beneath the City. But I'm constantly, as far as titles, getting it confused with this song called Into Thin Air. And I think it's just the naming convention of like, I guess, preposition and noun, like beneath the city, into thin air. I don't have too many songs. I don't think I have any songs besides those two that are named with that convention. Off the Rails. Ooh, I would like to have a song called Off the Rails, though. That's heck yeah. Sorry. Usually I mess up playing that song. But that song's called Clover Salad. I do want to finish it. Right now, that's the entirety of it. It's been the entirety of it for a really long time because there was a period of time where I actually forgot that I had made that song. And so I never played it. I never played it for several months. Yeah, I think that's it. I think I'm gonna post a video of me playing that today, just so that I don't forget it. Oh, I can. Okay. Good. Thanks for asking. How was your President's Day? Are you working today, kid? Sorry to hear that, kid. But I mean, do you have any cool plans tomorrow? Just resting? Something cooler? Alright. That song's called Spring Street. It was a slightly accelerated version of Spring Street and a cool piano sound as opposed to my typical piano sound. I'm gonna help my big sister with a grad project. I'm possibly visiting one of my partners, but I'm not sure what else my day has. Word up. Well, that's cool. Live a little bit of mystery. Oh, right. I will be streaming. And, in regards to Wait, is it out? I'm such an idiot. I thought that it was just announced. I didn't know it was actually out. Guys, I have a new song out. You can get it on Bandcamp. You serious? You know, these past few days I've just been really busy with work that I haven't really paid attention to much else, which is also why I haven't been streaming for the past 2 days. That song's called Reflection Pool. Mm. And boy, what a pool it is. This next song, has never really been finished. One day I hope to finish it, but it is very close. It's called Around the Pond. Thank you, Cyber. Appreciate you. That song. The reason I say it's not finished isn't because of the length that it isn't finished. I do want to end it that way. There's some stuff in the middle I kind of want to do to switch it up, to give it a different mood halfway through, and I haven't figured out exactly what that is. I think that my skill as a pianist needs to improve just a little bit more, and my skill as a composer needs to improve just a tiny bit more. Um, I like having these songs that aren't necessarily recorded or released because as I grow, they can grow with me. We kind of discussed this we discussed this in a stream a while ago, but there are songs, even like the song Reflection Pool. The Reflection Pool used to only be there's that, and then I added an intro to it, which is that one. And then I would get into the song from there. Which, when I first made Reflection Pool, I'm just gonna keep calling it Reflection Pool from this point forward, even though it didn't actually get that name until Kit named it like a month or two ago. But for the intro of Reflection Pool, these chords are pretty complicated, at least for me at the time. Yeah, it's back today, Leanna. We're back. As are you. Thank you, and welcome back. Um, I couldn't play chords this complicated. I didn't really understand harmony as well when I first started playing Reflection Pool. So if you pay attention to Reflection Pool, I mean, you can kind of see it. You can kind of see the keyboard in my fingers. It's all white keys. It's all white keys. And if you are a piano player, even have like a rudimentary knowledge of piano, it's easier to play the white keys. White keys are a little bit easier. It's easier to improv on the white keys. It's easier to hit chords that make sense and don't sound out of whack or out of key on the white keys. And so, if you pay attention to Reflection Pool, it's all the white keys. And so when I added the intro, if you pay attention to the intro starts on the white keys, but then very quickly moves to black keys. So there's a black key in there, and then black keys. There's two black keys in this one. And so the chords are a little bit more black keys down here, black key here, two black keys here, black key here. So I started mixing in the black keys in the intro to give it a little bit more of a complex sound, and that's just not something. It's not something that I could do early on when I made Reflection Pool. Oh boy. I got distracted for a second there. I was reading Cyber's comments. Sorry, guys. But I added black keys in the intro there to make it a little bit more complicated, because once we get into the actual songs, it's very, very simple. Also, something is the songs. It always goes from here to here. Goodbye, Eusaria. Thank you for being in the stream. It always has that transition. And then once I started understanding a little bit more about harmony, I started adding, instead of this transition, I started adding this transition. Which is the same but different. If you listen to this, they have a lot of similarities, but they're just different enough that it makes it so the song isn't too repetitive. Too repetitive, right? So, for example, it would be. That's the first way, this is the second line. It makes it a little bit less repetitive. Something that I try to do a lot is, if I'm going to be repeating something, I try to change the melody at least a little bit, so you can drive home a point without just being, oh, thank you. The second one sounds smoother. Ooh. I'll have to take that to heart. Remember that. But if I'm going to be repeating the same thing over and over, I try to have some semblance of variation without completely losing the melody. This happens in, if you pay attention to this one. Now that song, at a certain point of the song, it has like a modulation up. So it goes from being So I could just have the same melody up in this other key, though. I change it slightly, so it goes. It's a very, very small change, but I'm just trying not to repeat the same exact thing. Again, the other one. Oh, it's so hard to remember. I have to play into it. And then this one is. It's weird. It's a very, very slight change. Very, very slight change. But a change it is. And it's only put there so that I don't get into kind of a repetitive slump. Um, oh, word up, Cyber. Oh, I've been there. Unemployment can be a drag. It can also be very depressing. So I'm glad that you start work soon. That's really cool. Further driving my point home, this song. That's how the song would have sounded. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's actually a very beautiful melody. But I didn't want to have it be too repetitive, so the second time, instead of going, I just go, so. First time through. The second time starts exactly the same way, but ends different. Playing with the two qualities of like repetition and variation are essentially all music is, and it's like chord parts. But on a complex level, playing with repetition versus variation can can like let you kind of have your cake and eat it too, of creating something that is catchy. Like this, it kind of starts every single one. It goes, and then it goes, and then it even goes, still starting the same way. Every melody starts that way, and so it makes it easier to memorize. It makes it get stuck in people's heads a little bit easier. It's also easier to play if you're going to be playing the same thing over and over. But adding little variations to it makes it so that it's not boring, and so it has a little bit of a hint of evolution. I do this in chord progressions also. If you think about this chord progression and this chord progression, I try to do that so if you can get people to expect something, I feel like that's good. Not because music is boring, but if you can do something so many times that people will expect a certain thing out of it, to me, on the glass half full side of that, glass half empty side of that would be that this is monotonous, this is boring, this is derivative. But the glass half full part of it is that now you've won over the listener to a sense, right? Now they are paying attention to a level that they are predicting something that's going to happen. You can't predict music without paying attention. Kind of like a movie. For you to think you know what's going to happen in a movie, you have to be at least somewhat engaged into it. Do you chart out all these songs? Says Weston. Chart out? No. I'm not exactly sure what charting out means. I'm assuming it means like writing it on score paper, like sheet music. If that's what you mean, no. I can't write music. I can't read music. I can't write music. But if that's not what you mean, if that's not what the word charting means, I feel like it's still a no. Just because this is the extent. You're seeing the extent of the life of these songs. I have written them on piano. They live in my brain, and I play them in streams occasionally. But they are not. They don't exist in any other form. Another example of what I was talking about, or having something be repetitious, but change slightly. And this is the way I love doing this. There's a few songs that do this, but this is kind of the first song I did it with. so it'll be an easier example, is my song Beneath the City, which I played earlier in the stream. Now, this melody, it's very repetitive. It doesn't really change much. It doesn't change much. And the chords even change. The chords even stay the same. It's just two chords. One chord, two chord. And so I do that so many times that it kind of gets stuck in people's head. I know where they know where I'm going, or they can assume where I'm going, and that way, in the second half of this song, or in the second half of this part of the song, Beneath the City, I go up to this chord, and I repeat the same exact melody, just shifted up to match that chord. So this is the first part, and this is the second part. And so, in that way, people that have been listening to the song a bunch still can hum along, actually. And also, they don't feel lost, but it still adds some variation. I've even talked to people about that song in streams. This was a while ago. I think this was like an Instagram stream. That's how long ago it was. But I was talking to somebody about the chords, and they actually could not hear the difference in this and this. They thought this chord and this chord was the same exact chord, and essentially thought this and this were the same. They thought that that was the same thing. And so on one hand, you might be like, oh, they're obviously different. This person's ears are broken. This sucks. You have failed in your attempt to create something varied to the person. But I honestly think that it's a success in itself, because I was able to completely shift and they were still able to follow the music. They didn't think that it was jarring, right? Like if I went from Beneath the City into like Over and Under. That sounds so ridiculous. But that's more jarring. It's more jarring. And so I'm trying to make slight variations that the ear can become accustomed to something, and then that way when I change, it's not a big deal. It's not a big deal, but it still adds more color. Because if I simply did this for the entire song, it would get boring. It would get stale. Very slight things like that. Something kind of like that, which is just I go up. I go up in key or pitch or whatever in double Lutz, I think it is. Double Lutz. Yeah. This one. Wow, I messed that up. Anyways, I'm supposed to be going from here to here. I'm gonna try it again really quick because I just messed up. And then I get to the higher part. Now that song was difficult for me because I essentially am playing the same exact melody and chords, but I'm memorizing them and playing them off of like one, muscle memory, and two, like I know how the chords feel. So I know how the song feels. I'm not really going off of how the song sounds. I can play that song with my keyboard completely muted, and it'll feel the same to me because I'm going off of what my fingers are doing. Now, since I don't know music theory and I'm not playing this song based off of, oh, this is an A minor or a G major or something like that, I'm just going off of feeling. When I have to shift this, and shift that up, I now can't rely on the feeling of the song anymore. I mean, I still am, but I have to build a completely new feeling, right? This and this feel like two completely different songs. And so mentally, when that transition happens, I have to go like, okay, now we're playing this completely different song now. I can't think of it as if, oh, I'm just playing this song in a different key. I have to like mentally go, okay, this is song number 2 now. And the same thing happens when I have that modulation in this song. Play it different. And now I'm playing in a different key. That was a little bit of a messy way to get there. But basically from here, and then oh wait, sorry. There's chat stuff. Somebody's no Neobo says, why aren't you streaming on Twitch? Because Twitch isn't really my platform. I was never regularly streaming on Twitch. YouTube is my current platform. If you're asking why YouTube is my platform over Twitch, there's a few reasons. I like the streaming community on YouTube a little bit better. I also think that YouTube is more accessible to people. Not everybody goes on Twitch. I know a lot of people that like watching like Let's Plays and gamers and Twitch streamers will go on to Twitch, but I'm trying to make my stream more accessible to like just the common person. Not everybody even has the Twitch app on their phone, but everybody has access to YouTube, you know. It's just more of a common level of entry, I would say. Also, Twitch makes it a lot harder to monetize your account than YouTube does. What else? There's a lot of reasons why on YouTube instead of Twitch. Also, YouTube. Oh, somebody's battery's dying. It's Mary. Goodbye, Mary. Thank you for being in the stream. Appreciate you for giving me this Wednesday. Hopefully, I'll see you in another stream. Yeah, there's a few other reasons why I'm on Twitch. Twitch is currently having problems with a lot of people's accounts getting demonetized anyway, so I don't really want to get wrapped up in that debacle and mess. Also, Twitch has been making efforts to make music streaming a little bit easier on Twitch, but it's still a uphill battle versus something like gaming, streaming gaming. People don't necessarily go to Twitch for music streaming or really lifestyle streaming. People mostly go to Twitch for gaming. It's just not optimized for what I do. Neobo, thank you for asking though. Can't play that song again. I've heard from some people that know music theory that if you know music theory, it's a lot easier for you to play songs in several different keys. And since I don't know that, since I don't know music theory, it is playing a song like that I have prepared, like Spring Street. Now I could transpose that song. It's gonna take me a little while, but I can transpose Spring Street into a different key for sure. It's just going to take me a little bit longer, and there isn't going to be a lot of theoretical explanations or techniques to figure out what I'm doing. If you think about this song. Now the way I was able to get from here to here was not with some theory or some understanding of music music chords and notes. I simply took this chord and I looked at each one of my individual fingers and I moved them up one note. Then I got this chord. So I went from here to here. And then I went, okay, what's the second chord in that song? Well, it's this. And then I moved that all up by one note. I went, oops. And that's how I found the chord. So it did take a long time. It took a pretty long. It took, I would say, a good 15 minutes for me to get from to this. So it was time consuming, but that's just the way that I modulate my songs. I'm going to have to look at them, and that's why if you listen to my songs or you pay attention to my songs, the modulation usually isn't that big. Word up, Cyber. I'm really hungry. For some reason, when you said that, my whole body felt empty. I'm starving. So if you think about that change in key, it just goes up one note each. And then if you think of double Lutz, this song, that song only goes up two notes. So it goes from to it going up one note would be going here. I started the stream a little late today, guys. It was supposed to start at 9, but I started at 9:15 because I was on the phone that I would have to stream on. But I'm gonna start going over news now. The streams are back to usual. It's just I'm working on like so many projects right now that it does take up a lot of my time. So I apologize if you were somebody that relied on the stream a lot and you didn't get to see it for 2 days. I was here. I was just doing other things. I have 2 new albums out. Guys, speaking of those albums, somebody tweeted about it, right? Somebody tweeted about Quick Breath. And they're like, here's my recommended tracks off of Quick Breath. And they said, Close Down, Follow Me. What was the third one? Oh, Going Nowhere. Those were the recommendations. And I was like, I don't listen to my own music, but let me listen to it as if I'm not the one that made it. So I went and I pulled up the album and I just listened to the tracks that they had recommended from it. And not only did I realize, or re-realize, I super don't listen to my music after I put it out. That stuff, I super don't listen to it. It put me in this really weird place where like I was able to listen to Quick Breath, and I even listened to a little bit of Ego Death, just for kicks and giggles, not because anybody recommended it to me, but I listened to Ego Death a little bit, and I think it was important for me to do that because I had I knew exactly what I was doing when I made those albums. This bit of, not really advice, but this bit of transparency that I'm going to end the stream on before I get into news. Oh, sorry, there's a glare on the screen. Ooh, that's a good chord progression. We share a Discord here with a friend of mine. The girl I know had nothing but nice things to say about you. Oh, that's nice. I don't know who this girl is. What, crap. I was in the middle of something. You gotta stop letting that happen. What is that? Omni, you were talking about... Oh, right. Quick breath stuff. Now, I don't listen to my music. Maybe you shouldn't. Maybe you shouldn't listen to your music. Maybe it's not for you. It really just depends on your artist's journey or whatever. I don't necessarily make music for me to listen to. I do make it for myself, but not necessarily for me to stream. Very beautiful. I was listening to my music and I thought to myself, wow, I really knew what I was doing when I made. Oh yeah, that's what I was saying. This could be useful or helpful to any artist out there. I knew what I was doing. I can hear the intention in my releases. When I listened to Bon Bon, I knew exactly. When I listened to Nice Dream, I knew exactly what I was trying to do, and I showed up and I did it and I left. When I did Love Dream, it's just I can hear the intention in my music. Intention is very important to me. Maybe not to a lot of people. To me, it's very important to have like a clear vision of what you're trying to do. And even if you miss the mark a little bit, at least having a clear vision that is being translated to other people. Like when somebody hears it, especially if you yourself are hearing it, you're like, I know what I was trying to do. Or, ooh, I know what they're going for. They're trying to go for the ambient sound. Oh, I know what they're going for. They're trying to sound like a robot. Oh, they're trying to sound like Justice. Oh, they're trying to sound like this. Oh, they're trying to make me sad. They're trying to make me happy. They're trying to make me understand their life story. They're trying to make me see that they are good at piano after all. There's like intention, and that's really important to me. And sometimes when I will have a writer's block, a dry spell, whatever you want to call it, a lot of the origin of that feeling is I have no intentions. I don't know what I want to do. Sometimes I'll be writing music simply out of purpose. No, let me back up that because that can be confused with intention. I'll be writing music simply out of duty, not out of purpose or intention. I feel like I am a music creator, therefore I should create music. I'll look at the calendar, I'll look at my watch and say, you know what, it's been 5 weeks. It's been 5 weeks, it's been 3 weeks since I last wrote something. Maybe I need to get out something new. I haven't put anything on my Instagram in a week, maybe two. I'm losing followers by the day. I should probably get something out. These, I would say, are not decisions out of intention. The Khalid Talk remix video that I put out a while ago was not a remix made out of intention. A funny like cat video that I make music to and then put on my Twitter is not made out of intention. Usually my long-term releases like Quick Breath, Ego Death, Lush Dream, Daydream, Nice Dream, Love Dream, Speed Dream, Signals, Tall Tales, these are things made out of intention. I was very clearly trying to do something. I had an artist vision. And lately, I've been working on so many projects that are for other people. Like I've been doing like the score to this game. I've been doing a lot of commission work. I've been doing some commissioned remixes. And these are things that I'm making out of duty, you know. It's like I need to pay my rent, so I need to do this job. Or I need this experience, so I need to do this job. Or I want to be a part of this thing, so I need to do this job. But true artist vision and intention, stuff like when I made Nice Dream and I was just like, this is what I want to sound like, this is the type of artist I want to be. Those things haven't really been happening lately because I've been spread so thin. So I'll work on a project here and there for me, and I'm like, oh, this is kind of cool sounding. Maybe I can use this for something later. Or I'll play something on the piano, and I'll be like, oh, this is kind of cool. I'll have to remember this because maybe this is something that I can put on one of my future EPs or my future mixtapes. But at the end of the day, I haven't had that fire, that motivation. The most recent time I can remember having motivation like that is when I got back from Japan and I wrote the song. Not Button Willow. Olympus. When I got back from Japan, I wrote the song Olympus. Somebody says, just catch your stream right now. Awesome music as always. Thank you. You're catching the end of it. I'm just going over a little bit of artist minutia, but I got back from Japan, and I kid you not, maybe a day off that plane, I sat down and I made Olympus. And Olympus, it has its origins. I already broke down what the inspiration for that song was on an Instagram video. But I wrote Olympus because I was in Japan. Big life experiences, whether it's traveling, touring, eating a new food, getting your heart broken, falling in love, all this stuff can contribute to artist inspiration. And lately I've kind of just been like going to work, coming home, going to work. You know, I hang out with my friends or whatever, but I haven't even left LA since I got back from Korea, which was in September, August, something around those times. And so I just don't have a wealth of experiences and changes in my life to fuel that like kind of fire. Thank you, Neobo, for being in the stream. I hope you enjoy the rest of your Wednesday. And so when I listened to Close Down and I listened to Going Nowhere, I was like, oh, I listened to Olympus and I was like, these songs were about something. These songs were very, very inspired songs. They weren't made out of duty or because I was losing followers on social media or because my relevance was waning on Spotify. It was because I had this deep inspiration. So I listened to those songs, and then I started listening to the stuff that I've been kind of making or trying to make lately, and I just kind of put it down. And I said, you know what? It'll come. Those things will come. So have I started getting a lot of work done on my next EP? I don't think so, in the ways that the average music listener would think. Because I think a lot of people think of music as starting from the moment my hand touches the piano to the moment I upload it to Spotify. And there's kind of that old adage in the music industry of like, it takes your entire lifetime. Like artists have their entire lifetime to write their first album, and then they have roughly a year or two to do another one. And that's why a lot of people's like sophomore album or their second album ends up not doing as well or being like a letdown to a lot of fans. It's because they've had a whole lifetime of inspiration and knowledge and learning and teachable moments to inspire this one debut piece of work. And then they have to somehow recreate and emulate all of that growth a second time in a way less time, by the way. And so I think that somebody that puts out art as much as I do, a lot of reason I was able to do that is because I was having a wealth of experiences that were all surrounding my music career. I was touring and stuff like that, but I was also having experiences with friends and family. And so I want to give this next release some time. And I think that while I haven't necessarily put fingers to the keyboard in order to write it and record it, I think I'm making it now. I think I'm making it in a more subconscious sense. I think a lot of the things that I'm saying and doing and feeling over the course of these next few months are making the album. They are making the EP. They are making the single or the mixtape or whatever. It's just that I haven't been able to translate all that inspiration into sound yet. And I'll leave you guys on that. I have 2 new albums out. Quick Breath, which we were just talking about, I finally did listen to, and I love it. It's a good piece of work. Go listen to Quick Breath and go listen to Ego Death. They came out around the same time. They're companion albums. They're not really albums, but we're not going to get into freaking semantics in the stream. You can hear them on Bandcamp, SoundCloud, Spotify, iTunes, Apple Music, Google Play, Amazon MP3, Tidal, Groove, Deezer, Pandora, Napster, and YouTube. For sure, Cyber. I have a t-shirt coming out this year. I also have some merch in the form of stickers coming out this year, so stay tuned for that. As far as shows, I'm still not allowed to talk about the shows that I am booked for, but just they are coming this year. It's still kind of early in the year. I usually don't play any shows this early in the year anyway, so I guess this is just business as usual. As far as streams, I do stream here every morning at 9 a.m. Now, it is only on weekdays, and I do skip holidays, so I wasn't here streaming on President's Day. I was streaming on Valentine's Day. I guess that just goes to show I don't really consider it much of a holiday, but I was streaming on Valentine's Day, not President's Day. I did skip yesterday's stream because I had some work to do, but I am back, and I am here every weekday at 9 a.m. Hope to see you back. If you care about that kind of thing. This song is called Hush Hour. Earlier I said that I do have my music on YouTube. If you... God, I wish I remembered the chords that I played, because sometimes I just like spill out chords and I don't actually remember what I played. If you listen to my music on YouTube, you can find some videos that I've actually recorded for a lot of these songs. This song, Hush Hour, I recorded a music video for. And also also just happens to be the ending song for the stream. Thank you, everybody, for being respectful of me and polite to each other. Please go have a good Wednesday. I have a lot of work to do today, but hopefully my Wednesday is going to shape up too. I will see you guys here hopefully tomorrow for the Thursday morning stream at 9 a.m. Morning Medley number 76. Hello, everybody.